Okay, this is popping. This is working. First of all, definitely want to thank y'all for taking the time out to come to this live. I truly appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna lie. This is crazy. I've never done this before. So that's number one. So please bear with me if I mess up things or have to repeat things or go over. I'm definitely trying to see who's in the comments or in the private chat. Hmm. Okay, bet. All right. Don't worry, I'm gonna edit some of this stuff out. And I'll give a few minutes for people. Hey, how's it going, Kev? Just give like a 1 minute to let some people enter, and then we'll definitely get started and have some fun. This is dope, though. I never knew I could actually do all this stuff. This is Transcapitalist. You about to go live? Like it's about to. This is about to be my year, and 2024, and the year after that. But I'm just saying. So let me see how many people. So let me see. Trying to figure out how I can see other people. I know if you type in the chat, I'm able to see you from there, but I'm not sure where to see how many other people are here to make sure. Um, that's bad. That's life. We're gonna do this together, and I appreciate you for showing up. Okay, live viewers. It says no live viewers, but then Kev, you're here in the room, so I'm trying to see what else I can do. Let me see if this. Oh, I can't even share a screen. Oh, we about to have a live sessions coming on. Oh, we about to get this financial literacy education. Best believe that. And I apologize before because I wasn't able to play with it around because I have to be live to do an event as such like this. But it's all good. Yeah, we'll do solo dolo layout. Right? Exactly. I did not know they had that too until like one of my coaches told me like, yo, you can actually do this. And LinkedIn is popping, by the way. I want people to know that, especially if you're starting your entrepreneurship and professionalism, definitely do LinkedIn for sure. All right, bet. So I'm gonna just start since it's like 7:03. Don't want to waste people's time and stuff like that. So just to give an intro for everybody else, if you haven't known about me before, number one, please excuse my scruffiness. I'm not always looking like this. So my barber went on vacation, so I gotta wait till he comes back. So hopefully we can change this soon. But any other way, my name is Kenneth Davis, aka the Trans Capitalist. I am a financial literacy consultant and just recently got my data science certificate. Basically, what I do is I help the LGBTQ community, especially heavily focused on transgender people of color. My passion, my mission is to help liberate as many queer individuals I can to let them know like they have a fighting chance within America to actually thrive through any economic climate. And we all know with capitalism how it can definitely oppress us. This is why I always say like I'm not for capitalism, but until we change our economic system, we're going to have to abide by the rules of capitalism, which a lot of people do not know and do not actually understand. Like what goes on within capitalism and how you can beat the game. Because it's like that saying, right? Like you can't win until you know the rules of the game. So it's like, why play? But if you're not playing, you're going to be oppressed by capitalism. And this is where I come in to help you learn those rules, apply it to your life, have some conversations, discussions, and strategies in order for you to have that fighting chance that you actually deserve within here today, especially with all the political climate that's going on against transgender people. If you have not known, I am a Black male transgender myself, female to male, and this is why this is so passionate to me. So basically, I built my brand in 2016. Just to share a quick of my story, if y'all don't know, is that man, when I came out, even before I transitioned, I was like kicked out, disowned, and financially cut off. So for me, it was either going to the streets or going to school. So I decided to go to college, take out all the loans necessary to do so. This way, like I had a home, I had an address, I had some food, I had some friends, all that stuff to help me keep going. And then when I learned, like, okay, I want to transition, I graduated with a BS in engineering, civil engineering to be exact, which I hated. I was so depressed, but I was able to land like a six-figure job within there. But a lot of people did not know, which I hid very well, is that I was broke as hell. Like I had no money. I was living like beyond paycheck to paycheck. Like I was that person like buying bottles. Like I never had that much money before in my possession. So for me, it's just like, I'm definitely messing this up because I don't know about y'all or you heard the myth from your family, which I call a myth now, is go to school, get a good high paying job, pay your bills, whatever's left for you is for you. And if you don't have any money left over, then you need to get a high paying job. And to me, that is the biggest myth whatsoever because I did that. And I was, like I said, broke AF. And so for me, it's just like something had to change. But it's like not till like I had a mini breakdown in my shower because I didn't know how I was going to pay next month bills, right? So for me, like I just something told me to like pick up this book, and it turned out to be Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that changed my life. So if you never read that book before, or if you really want to start your financial education, please read that book. Like it is life changing. Like it literally helped me know that one, there's actually rules and principles to money. Two, learning how to put yourself first when it comes to your own money, managing your personal finances. And then three, it's just hella entertaining and it's very thought provoking, right? So always suggest to read that book. And when I read that book, I was able to like be like, oh snap, I can do this. So with like my money mind and with engineering being good with numbers, I was able to get myself out of debt, rebuild my credit score, do all these things, right? But I was like, a friend told me, like, hey, can you help me? I was like, I'm not a teacher, but whatever. When I helped them, that's when my heart warmed up. And I was just like, I think this is what I need to do in order to like really make an impact in the world and like make my presence known to leave that gift in the world, especially when I'm gone. So for me, it's just like with financial literacy, it pisses me off so much that we were never taught any of this. And this is why it's just like we really need to take the time to sit down and read some finance books, listen to some financial experts like myself, especially if you're queer and trans, because this is why I always say, right? And if y'all don't know me by now, I definitely use like unorthodox methods. I always challenge these financial rules because I'm a firm believer right now is that the financial rules of the past do not work for our current situations now. Back then in the past, especially if you're a white cisgender person, you had a lot more resources than queer people, even within themselves. And especially for my trans community, I love y'all. It's just like you can't hide being trans whatsoever. So you're discriminated against constantly and left in the dark and not having like a guiding light to help you to get out of the dark and really put your finances together. So this is why I say like financial literacy is just so important to me because that is what got me here in order to have my own business, build my own brand, help as many people as I can throughout the world. So even having people in America, UK, and South Africa, I definitely want to expand that as much as I can. So if you know other people in other countries and they still struggling with money, hit me up because at the end of the day, all the financial rules still that I use still apply. It's just different currencies. So I really want y'all to understand that. Like it's understanding the ground principles of what you need to help you get to A to B. And lastly, as I always say too, another quote of mine is that I don't do your finances for you. I help teach you how to do your own finances, because this way, like, you're not latched onto me forever. This way you truly understand like what you need to do for your own financial situation to get you from your point A to B. And this is why I always say too that I'm not restricting, saying like, oh, you have to cut everything out, or you can't do this, you need this. No, I help you afford the lifestyle that you want to live in. So that's why I say, like, think big, think like whatever you want to be able to, because then I'm sitting down with you strategically, helping you figure out how to get that lifestyle that you want and to be able to afford it. So, for example, even like within the second session working with me, you'll stop living paycheck to paycheck, and I guarantee that. So, this is why I always say, like, it's so important. And then this is why also I started up these I call them office hours, but like Q&A sessions with me, because then like we're able to discuss money, extract that X out that taboo of speaking about money in public. I don't know about you, but when I used to ask my mom about her finances stuff, I would get beat and be like, well, like, know your own lane. You're a child, you're not supposed to know. But then when you hit 18, they expect you to know what you need to do with your money. Crazy to me, right? And it's probably crazy to y'all, but that's the world I lived in. And this is why I only recommend stuff that I did for myself that actually works and give it to you. So I'm one of those people, like, I know my limits. And if I don't know the answer to the question, I will look it up or even refer you to other experts in that situation that you need to fit in that final piece. Because at the end of the day, I believe everybody can do it. You just need guidance. It's like once you know better, you do better. So that's one of the reasons why I actually like created this space for y'all. And I really want y'all to utilize it. I really want y'all to start sharing this with your friends and family and letting them know, like, hey, I'm going to on this journey to improve my finances. I'm queer, I'm black, I'm a person of color. What do I need to do to get the lifestyle where I'm still living in my truth and being happy about it? So this is dope, y'all. And this is why I'm opening up the Q&A session. Usually they're 30 minutes, especially since we're just starting out now. But I can always extend it longer depending on how many people we have within a group. Also, please know that this will be a safe place. Just to let you know, like, hey, you don't always have to use your own examples. You can just say, like, hey, a friend of mine is doing XYZ. What would you suggest to do? I just want to let y'all know that, because that's very important. And anytime we're discussing money, it's coming from a vulnerable place, right? And this is why another thing that sets me apart from other financial experts is that, one, I talk about your emotional and mental mind space when your relationship with money, because that is the guiding factor of what's going to help you on your journey to wealth and really see some results, really see some changes. Because I'll tell you right now, I've had clients like where I like gave them literally like the whole book. Like, this is what you need to do, ABC all the way to Z, right? But they never picked up that book because they had a hesitation, and then they panicked, then they had anxiety, and then it was just like, hey, I noticed like the energy change. It's just like, hey, what's going on? And they're just like, sometimes it feels like it's over my head. Sometimes I feel like I can't do it. And then that's why I was just like, oh, snap. Right now, we got to talk about your mindset. And even in Rich Dad Poor Dad, they do discuss mindset just a little bit. But for me, I'm all about it. Like, let's sit down, have a conversation, and see where your triggers are. Because once you have self awareness of what those triggers are, you are able to stop those triggers, right? So, for example, like whenever I get upset, every time I get mad or whatever, like I will go out to eat and dropping like $60 or whatever or more on the food that I want, eating out, knowing damn well that I shouldn't be doing this just because I'm upset or mad. But I kept doing that, and then it kept hitting my bank account, right? Nothing will drain your bank account faster than like eating out, no lie, right? So for me, it was just like, this has to stop. So now when I'm making financial decisions and I'm upset, I separate myself from that to be able to say, like, all right, like, Ken, do you really need this? Do you really need to go out? And it's just like, no, I don't. Like, I'm good, because it's like I have a savings goal for something else that's more important. So I really want you to start thinking in that manner, just because, like, and remember, I'll be talking on all these topics that I just said today. Today's just an introduction. But I want y'all to understand, like, each piece of the puzzle starts with your mental and emotional health when it comes to money. And then this is why we're going to expand on it later. and literally like have some fun and be able to help you give you that self-awareness, help you identify what your triggers are, help you to see like what needs to be changing within your life. Because I'm one of those persons, like, especially if you're working with me, I lay it all out on the line for you. And then you start to see the decisions that you've been making and how you want to correct yourself and actually do better. Because who doesn't want more money, right? At the end of the day, this is my mission, my goal in life is to help you get that more money, to help you achieve wealth, to help you have an easy mindset, to help take away your anxiety when it comes to financial decisions. I want to teach you to the point where you get to think like me, especially like in business school, where I learned, where I got my master's of finance. So like back there, right over there, yeah, no, right over there, those are my degrees, right? So this is why I went to business school, because I really wanted to learn what white cisgender males on Wall Street knew that they weren't telling us. And let me tell ya, they know a lot of stuff that we don't know. A lot of stuff that's not advertised for us. A lot of stuff that they try to gatekeep. But thank God for the internet, they can't do that no more. But still within the financial realm, especially in the LGBTQ community, we do not take the extra mile to go forth to learn this, because we're just literally trying to survive, number one. Number two, we think it's not for us, and you have to have an X amount of money in order to get there. And I'm just letting y'all know, like, you can buy stocks right now with like $20 or less, right? You can start building your stock portfolio right now. I built mine piece by piece, and but it took the time for me to actually learn and understand like what the hell is investments? What is the stock market? What is passive income? All these things I learned on my own in conjunction with business school that helped me create even a better strategy for my people, aka to thrive in this manner. So yeah, I hope that gave y'all some context of what I'm doing, who I am, and this is where it needs to be. So if anybody is out there, let's start the Q&A session, or even if there's just one person, no person, like we can have the one-on-one conversations, and I'll keep going. Give you some time. Oh, and I guess write your questions or your comments or your concerns into the chat, because that's the only way I'm able to see it. And also to let y'all know too, lastly, I have expanded this to my YouTube channel. So just to let y'all know, like if you can't catch it on LinkedIn, I believe you can most likely catch me on YouTube too. Both of those links are definitely in my Instagram bio of how you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and also how you're able to see it. All right, so question. Thank you, Kevin. In the beginning of your financial literacy journey, was your access to resource? Oh, okay, bet, right? So as I was saying, like I was broke AF, like I had nothing. Even though I had a job, I still had nothing. What I literally did was go to the public library. I got a library card that was free, and I like literally stayed in the finance and business section. No lie. And then there's also a website called Investopedia, because that carried us over in business school. Of like, Investopedia is like great. It's an amazing resource, and I always recommend it to everybody, because it's like while you're on your financial journey and you're learning and you're reading, that it breaks it down for you even into simpler terms. Because I'll be real with you, financial jargon is complex on purpose to keep people out like us, in order for them to have the more money. Because remember, if everybody's learning how to make mill, everybody's going to learn how to make a mill, get a mill, and then you're not going to have enough. Like people have that scarcity mindset out here in in American society. But for me, what I learned is like when you go to Investopedia and I want to learn more in-depth concepts, they literally create videos with examples of what that definition is. So I always encourage everybody to check out investopedia.com. And then also for the resources, like I said, I went to a public library, got me a library card, and I was like renting out books 3 at a time, just reading. So like since I was still engineer and on construction sites, and I would like make sure people were building the buildings correctly, but I would have a lot of downtime, right? Well, still getting paid, thank God. That I would read. I would read all these financial books. So for me, it was just like, I'm not good at credit. Let me rent out some credit books so I can learn the tricks, the rules, and the magic behind it. Oh, I want to start a business. Let me read about entrepreneurship. oh, I want to start saving. What's the best way to save? Take out those books and see if you get where I'm going with that. So even like if you want to pay off, learn the proper ways of paying off debt, boom, take out some books. But for those, I did change them, like I said, because they don't apply to us now. But it gave me a good solid foundation to figure out why it's not working for us. And in order for me to find that solution to make it work for us. So that's why I said, like, and then use the internet to your best manner. Only use trusted websites and resources. So I do support NerdWallet. They're cool people. Definitely Investopedia is another cool people. Forbes is good. So it's just like those are resources. And like I said, your library has so many books on financial literacy that if you was to like do that, like just rent a book once a month, you will see how much you would change so fast within a year. Like that's how I rebuilt my shit. Oops. I mean, that's how I rebuilt my stuff. Like I was able to read all these books, apply them to my life, see how I can apply them to life to make them work, and then I would spread that information with y'all. So I hope that answers your question. Oh, this is dope. 30 minutes goes fast. I'm really enjoying this. Does anybody else have any questions? As a queer person of color, what were some of your initial challenges in your entrepreneurship journey? And do you still experience these challenges today or no? Yo, these are great questions. This is amazing. Thank you. Number one. Okay, so my first challenge was definitely understanding like how much money I would need to start a business. And believe it or not, it's not that much. So you're probably like thinking like me back in the day, like, oh, you had a business, like you was rich, like you're able to like afford all that stuff. But when I learned more about entrepreneurship and that I don't need a brick and mortar store, that it's just me and my laptop, that saved me tons of money. But to actually make your business actually legal, when I started my business, it was in New Jersey because I'm currently in Princeton, New Jersey, right? So for me, the it was only like $250 to make my brand into a company, and that was it. And I was just like, wow, like all I had to do was save that up. And then when tax time came, I had more deductions available to me that, mind you, like with tax season, I was able to like be in the red and turn it to green by just putting in all my expenses for my business that incurred that the government gave me money back. That's why I say like start entrepreneurship as early as you can. The second challenge I would say, which is like a gift and a curse, is that like I'm the only one in my lane. Of course, like there are more trans people coming out for financial literacy, but they're always just there to sell financial products, which I don't like because it's like your community struggling, but you're still trying to sell me something. I hate that. So for me, it was just like, okay, like if I'm going to do this and take it all the way to where I am right now, that I'm going to have to like strap up and just be like, okay, this is me. This is what I'm doing, and being self taught and learning so many things, right? Until I was able to get a mentor or even a coach. So that was dope. So that was the second challenge. And now, even within today, um, those challenges gone away because there's like more other challenges that you face in entrepreneurship. But the third challenge I would definitely say is like if it's just you, it's called solopreneurship. And it's basically meaning like you're wearing so many hats within your business to get it up and running off the ground and creating some momentum for them. So for example, like since it's just me, I don't have an intern, I don't have an assistant yet. But it's just like, oh, who's doing the marketing? Me. Who's creating the content? Me. Who's doing the taxes? Me. It's just like anything you can think of within the business that you need to do to get yourself up and running is going to be you. And now that I'm further along, I'm able to bring on a team. Sometimes I'm like iffy about it because like this is my baby. Like I created this. Um, to let it go into other people, even though I'm supervising, it's still not the same. But still at the end of the day, it's so much easier now because now like I know my type of audience. I know my type of business. I know my niche. I know my topics. Um, I'm doing this. So it's just like, yo, I came a long way for doing it by myself. But then also, I would say like the fourth challenge is burnout. And so, like, since you're doing everything to build back on the last topic, since you're doing everything yourself, you do burn out faster than somebody else who actually has a team. And it's just like you get so tired. Sometimes you feel like people are not listening. Sometimes you feel like things aren't working. And it's just like you have to, like, entrepreneurship is like try and fail over again, like trial and error. That's what I was looking at. Well, it's trial, error, and fail, to be honest. Like, you want to try some stuff, it's not going to work. You got to scrap it. You got to find something new. But like my wife told me, whenever you start over, it's like you're wiser than before. So whatever problems that you had in the past, you know the solutions to them now, and you're able to redirect and like what I call to pivot and be able to start hitting those goals that you have for yourself. So I would say too, like entrepreneurship is not scary. It may be scary in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, but it's more rewarding because when you find that niche in that business and you solve that solution to people's problems, you'll see how much fun it is and you'll see how much it lights up your heart. And then like helps you know like you're able to make an impact. Okay, how's the queer community's engagement in your business so far? Are you getting offers for collab? Oh, for sure. So now I'm considered expert within my field, which is true. It took a lot of work to get there, a lot of studying, a lot of work to understand, a lot of creating, a lot of, like I said before, trial and error to see what works or not. I found my niche, I found my audience, I look at my analytics, and I know it. So people, especially in the queer community, do reach out. What I usually get is either like from my different services of like taking on people one on one, doing that, or two, the speaking engagements. And let me tell you, I have so much fun with speaking engagements. It's not even funny. Like, but even before then, to get to speaking engagements, I used to go to Toastmasters. I'm not sure if you know what Toastmasters is, but it's basically like this organization that teaches you public speaking. So I went to a few sessions for like a good 6 months, and I was like a natural, and I was able to like learn how to make a speech, learn how to make a speech flow, how to keep people engaged, how to keep people entertained, how to get your point across professionally, right? I was able to do all those things. And then it's nice when you get paid for doing those speaking engagements. And just to let y'all know, like when you get paid four figures and up, yeah, for like what, an hour or 2 hours of your time max, it's ridiculous. It's amazing. Like my brother, for example, he's a comedian and he used to tell me all the time, like, I get paid X amount of money only for 30 minutes or an hour of my time. Mind you, he's a comedian. It's like crazy popping. So for me, it's like I get this amount of money to get my time and expertise. Yeah, I'm going to charge you and you're going to pay. And because this ain't free, this is hard work. Like I put in a lot to get where I am now. So this is why like you let people know like your worth, what it is. Yeah, Toastmasters is popping. I used to win awards. I still got the awards hanging up and stuff to help remind me to keep going. But yeah, you'll see. Whatever topic you'll find and you keep working at it and you become an expert and stuff like in your field, people will start reaching out to you. But you have to know what you're talking about too. And that's why I also say like I only talk about things that I experienced firsthand, and then also looking up statistics, checking resources and facts. So there is a lot of work to get speaking engagements as well too, and even for collaborations. And lastly, oh sorry, 729. Last thing I would say, especially with collaborations, you have to make sure they're good for your brand. So even regardless if somebody's like, I know you're starting in the beginning, somebody's like, yo, I want to collab with you. Not all collaborations are great. Just like not all money is great, right? So it's like you have to have discernment and also talk to them to see like if your brand and their brand aligns. And if it doesn't, you have to respectfully decline, regardless of how much money they're offering you, because I'll coin this term like headache money. You do not want headache money. Some clients I have to turn away because they're going to be a headache. some collaborations I had to pass on because I knew they're going to be a headache and like sacrifice my mental peace for them, and it's not worth the money to do so when you can invest that time and energy. Because I'm one of those big component persons to believe that time is more important than money, because you can't get time back. You can always rebuild with your money, but you can't get your time back. So it's like, for me, I hate wasting people's time. I hate when people waste my time. So it's just like, let's do this. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it. If not, that's what it is. So yeah, any other questions or comments? It is 7:30, so I'm about to end this live. And also, please know, for everybody, I will be doing lives every 2 weeks. So if it's not August 23rd, I'm trying to think when's the next one. What's on my calendar? 1 second. The 5th. Tuesday will be the 5th. All right. In the current toxic environment in the US, what are examples of some financial challenges you have in career? Oh, everything. Like, we are discriminated against in everything. And the biggest challenge, I would say, for queer people, especially queer trans people, of color, is finding income, finding employment. Because even with my statistics that's on my website, the trans people of color unemployment rate is 4 times higher than the national average. 4 times higher than the national average. Ridiculous. And then my second statistic that's on my website that like motivates me, puts me in, is that it's known that trans people, especially trans people of color, are known to make 10K a year or less. Nobody can live off of that. And I wonder, why is that? Because it's like we're forced to get minimum wage jobs that will accept us and take us on. Because like, if you're not passable and HR is being the a-hole and is like racist and also homophobic and transphobic, you ain't gonna get that job no matter how qualified you are. And I know so many people and so many experiences about that. And then that's why I'm gonna take that subject of what you just said, and make that into a whole live itself and have that discussion, because it's serious and I'm very passionate about it. So let me do that. Yeah, it's horrible. It's really bad out there. And a lot of people do not understand that. A lot of corporations do not understand that. And this is why I get the collaboration and speaking engagements to discuss that for us in order to help them gain solutions, especially within their policies, workplace policies, in order to make it more a comfortable environment for trans people of color, instead of toxic environments that force us to quit. And then now we're back on the street trying to figure out how we're going to eat, where we're going to sleep. I'm not going to be thinking about retirement if I don't have a home. Like, let's go. So yeah. So I hope that answered all your questions. I really appreciate your questions, Kevin. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you for everybody who's attending and watching this. It's going to be dope. And this is letting me know, like, I'm on the right path for doing these, because I always want to give value. And I always want people to understand, like, I'm here for you. I'm fighting for you. And because y'all my heart, y'all my mission. Oh, of course. Oh, most definitely. This is why I also say, like, entrepreneurship. We need more businesses for us and hire more people like us in order to gain that economy, that we're working together. So yeah. So thank y'all for attending the very first session. This was like fun, and I'm so happy about it. So yeah, stay tuned. I will be posting when I'm definitely going on, like a week before, and then leading up to it, keep it out. But like I said, new content is dropping on LinkedIn and it's dropping on YouTube now. So let's get it. Peace.